This is Melanie Orders, and this is your weekly reading beginning with Monday, the 14th of April 2014 and going all the way through to Sunday the 20th of April 2014. So if you listened to my reading last week and I was talking about releasing addictions and habits, if you did do some work on that, good for you, and hopefully some stuff came up and you're still continuing working on those and still continue working on those habits. It will be hard. You know, we all have stuff that we need to release, me included, so, you know, keep on working on that stuff. But this week I have been very much guided to talk about spirit and spirituality. So what is spirit? What is it to you? You know, do you believe in spirit or not? If you're watching these, you probably do. And what is spirituality? We all come from different directions. I solemnly believe that we all come from different directions, but we all end up finding the same path. I do believe in God, I do believe in angels, I do believe in guides, spirits, and I certainly believe in talking to Passover loved ones. This is what I do, this is part of my path. But we all get there in different ways, shapes and forms. Now, what I'm going to talk about though is listening and hearing or seeing guidance. How do you receive or perceive it? We all get it different ways, and some people might say that I talk to God, or I talk to angels, or I talk to my guides, I talk to Passover loved ones, or people might just call it their gut instinct. Now, it doesn't really matter what you call it, really doesn't. It doesn't really matter who you talk to get the information to. Doesn't really matter. It comes from the same place. Comes from a place of love, comes from a place of honesty, and it is, if you want to even call it, talking to your higher self, but a lot of people will call it that gut instinct or our intuition. And that certainly is just as easy as, like, you know, should I take that job? And everyone's saying, go for it, go for it. And you might feel in your inner being or your gut, it's not right for me. Something that I might like, great opportunity, but it's not for me. And it might be opposite way, where people are saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, you're crazy. And you find out that that is, if you listen to your gut, and it was the best thing you ever did. So, for example, if you're finding that your career or where you are right now is not certainly what you want to be, then maybe look at focusing on what it was that you wanted to be. Maybe you were 20, in your teens, or even when you were a kid. You know, I know when people used to say, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a police officer, or I want to be a teacher. That's when you had the intuition. That's when you listened to yourself, and that's when you knew what you wanted in your life, because you had no buffers. When we become adults, we have this logic. You know, this logic overrides lots of things that we want. And we might say, oh, you know, I want to work on an island. And your logic might say, well, that's ridiculous. I live somewhere where it's really cold. Never going to get that type of job. Logic goes, fair enough, you know, I've got a good paying job now, all that sort of stuff. So when we override ourselves, and certainly our intuition, that's when we feel stuck. That's when we feel, you know, things aren't flowing. So this week, I really want you to work on your inner voice, your inner listening to your gut. Your gut knows everything. Your intuition knows everything. You have the answer to everything that you need in your life. Absolutely everything. And all you have to do is ask. You have to ask yourself. And that might be that you need to learn how to meditate or meditate. Now, meditation, touched on a tiny little bit, is as simply as just closing your eyes. Or you don't even have to close your eyes. You can go out into nature or anywhere quiet and just focus on a question. So it might be about career. What am I supposed to be doing with my life? And as I said, you might see all things happen. You might see what you're having for dinner, all that sort of thing. Just focus back on that question. The answer is there, or ask. Please give me guidance, please give me signs of what it is I'm supposed to do. And things will come. Things will certainly come. I have changed my career many times in my life, and it's taken a long time for me to hone in exactly what I wanted to be. You know, I was a massage therapist for 10 or so years, and through that, things in spirituality certainly happen. And I certainly have known this a long time in my life. I knew it through my teens, did not let anyone know my teens, because everyone would have, you know, that's not what you talked about when you're a teenager. In my 20s, I certainly realised that that's what I wanted to work with, healing and modalities and stuff like that, and that's when I started doing massage. In my 30s, near my end of my 30s, I worked with that very much so, and then gave that all up. I have now begun teaching dance for the last 4 or 5 years of my life, and now spirit has come back into my life, and now I am doing both. I am teaching dance, and I am also doing readings and whatnot, and that's going to be more fine-tuned, and certainly will be that way. And that will be the same with you. You might find that you have to get back to your roots, back to who you truly are. You might have gone a full circle, you know, you might have had kids, got married, got divorced, all those types of things, and now you're starting to find yourself. And this week is really important, and this week and the following weeks, this is like a continual thing. Start listening to your intuition. Very, very important. You know, sometimes we ask guidance from outside of ourselves, and we get everyone's perspective, and that's really nice and important. But at the end of the day, it's what you think, it's what you want, and it's what you feel. So if you start listening and just taking that breath and saying, God, angels, Uncle Tom, whoever it is that you want to connect with, or my higher self, please give me guidance about whatever it is that you need guidance with. Okay? There are people like me who can help you and give you guidance. You don't necessarily need to go to a psychic to get guidance. You can ask a dear friend. You know, they see the outside of your life and can help you with that. But this week I want you to start focusing on you, asking about you, being selfish, and I mean that in the most positive way, and looking after yourself, finding your inner voice and listening to it. Listening to it. Don't dismiss what you get. You know, if you've had a question that you've been asking for 10, 15, 20 years and have not got the answer to it, then you aren't listening to yourself. And you need to start doing that. It's most important. Okay, so have a good week. Trust your gut. Listen to yourself. Listen to your inner voice. Learn to meditate. Find out what it is that you believe in spirit or you don't believe in spirit. What it is that you find. You know what? The more you open to it, the more you open to it. And they certainly do help you along the way. They certainly helped me in my life. And hopefully will continue helping me in my life, giving me answers. And hopefully this helps you too. So have a great week. See you next week. Listen.